Hello. If you haven't already, make sure that you sign up for my free weight loss event in Harborne on the 5th of June, 7 p.m. So you can do that by clicking the link above or below, depending on where you're watching this. So it's going to be a seminar called How to Improve Your Relationship with Food and Never Go on a Diet Again. So if you live in the Birmingham area and you struggle with sort of food and that type of thing and diets and all that type of thing, this is going to be the session to come to. Totally free. 7 p.m, 7th of June, only 20 spaces available. Click the link above or below. Right, so I'm going to talk about venting. Now, because it's Mental Health Awareness Week, I think the problem is, and I don't know if it's a very English thing, but the problem is that we feel sometimes bad for venting anger or frustrations. And we shouldn't really. But what we should learn how to do, in my opinion, is to vent it in the right way. So this is where, for example, like exercise comes in. Like I can literally feel a bit lethargic and go and stand outside for 10 minutes and then I'll feel a bit better. You know, it won't fix all your problems because only action fixes problems. Solution-based action fixes problems. But in terms of moods and in terms of pent-up frustrations and emotions, venting can be all kinds of things. Here are some tips. So venting could be writing an email and writing an angry email to somebody and deleting it, writing an angry text to somebody and deleting it, not sending it. It could be some pad work. You could get yourself a punch bag or some boxing gloves and then get somebody else to hold some pads up and you could just punch them for 5 minutes, which is probably better and probably has less consequences than actually punching somebody in the face, which, if we're honest, we're all probably tempted to do occasionally. So yeah, see what I'm saying? So venting is important and it's nothing to be ashamed of. So if you're angry, anger, like we said before, is a perfectly normal human emotion and there's nothing wrong with being angry. Nothing wrong with being angry whatsoever, okay? It's normal. How you use it, that's really the key for me. Because sometimes people, when they get emotional, upset, frustrated, disappointed, they look for something to numb the pain, whether that's alcohol, drugs, the phone, again, irony, social media, scrolling, just something just to numb the pain. And whilst I think a little bit of controlled sedation is okay, particularly around food and alcohol to a certain degree. I wouldn't recommend hitting the drugs, but sort of alcohol and food. If you know that, for example, with me, if I say to myself, right, I'm going to be good this week. I've had a bit of a rough week, but Saturday I'm going to eat what I want. That works for me. That's for me a controlled sort of food-based venting process, which is okay. So the key point I'm trying to make is that it's okay to vent. It's okay to be angry and frustrated and disappointed. It's normal. Don't let anybody make you feel it's not. That's not the point here. The point is not to suppress emotions. The point is to understand them and learn how to deal with them and act accordingly. So when people are talking about mental health and talking about, acting, and when people are talking about mental health and talking about it, all that sort of stuff is great. But you don't stop at talking. You have to do something different. You have to break the cycle. You have to change behaviours. You have to look at the things that perhaps aren't serving you very well and start to change them. There's no point talking about this and not acting. We need solutions. We need to help people, empower people to find solutions, measurable, controlled and doable tasks that are going to help them to develop and grow and feel better. Because I once heard a fantastic expression, which was the best way to cure sadness is to learn something new. And hopefully, when you start to learn different ways to vent frustrations, anger, and all these disappointments and all these emotions that we have, you can have that as a resource then instead of sedation through those things I mentioned earlier. Because, of course, if you keep sedating with food, you're going to get fat. If you keep sedating with alcohol, well, there's consequences there, smoking, drugs, the rest of it. So, yeah, worth bearing in mind there. So remember, it's okay to vent. Just find some constructive ways to do it, and you never know, it could be the key to you feeling better. And again, breaking the cycle, get out, get some fresh air, do something else. So like I said, if food is your thing and you want to improve your relationship with food, then yeah, come along to the free session. Click the link above or below. 5th of June, 7 p.m, Harborne, about 90-minute session, and I'll run through some of the ways that I over the years have gone from being really fat to now having a better control over food. Not being perfect, but just having a better understanding and awareness of food so you don't feel like you're on a diet, hungry, the rest of it. Okay, good. Have a good day.